Tampa, home of the South Florida Bulls. Welcome to the herd. Go behind the scenes, from the sidelines to the studio and everywhere in between. Featuring exclusive interviews, coaches, players, insights from the community throughout the program's 26th football season. United by head coach Jeff Scott.
Here we go, locked in right here.
Get ready, because this is our family. This is Bulls country, and we're a stampede. This is Horns Up, USF All Access.
Hey, work on two, 1, 2. Work.
Hello and welcome to Horns Up, USF All Access. I'm WFLA sports anchor Karen Loftus.
And I'm USF sports anchor Kaylee Cottrell. Thank you so much for joining us. We are excited to give you inside access to the sights and sounds of USF with exclusive interviews and behind-the-scenes footage in the bullpen.
Last week was a bye week, so the Bulls had some rest, but then they returned to action yesterday against Houston. We'll have highlights from the game later on, but first we have to start with the major news. Unfortunately, it's not good news. Gary Bohannon suffered a shoulder injury during October 15th's game, and he is out for the season, which is just absolutely devastating.
It really is, Karen. He had a string of success, but now faces surgery. And sophomore quarterback Katravis Marsh started his first game yesterday for USF.
Yeah, so Marsh has a powerful story. He tells us how he's dealt with tragic loss and his reason for never giving up.
I liked the aggressiveness by Marsh, getting Marsh on the perimeter, getting him an opportunity where he can make that run pass option, but more just that read option.
Katravis Marsh, I'm from Miami, Florida. I was introduced to football when I was about 7 years old. I played quarterback and linebacker and DN, and then after that, it was straight quarterback after that. I just had to stick quarterback because I knew I had the tools and I had the size.
Katravis Marsh is another returning quarterback that has a big league arm, and he's a guy I think that's continuing to develop and has a big upside.
Goes in motion, comes in tight left side. Here's Marsh to throw. Far sideline, it is caught inside the 10-yard line.
What a well-designed play that was. A lot of trickery going on in the backfield.
My best friend Josh that passed away, we grew up playing football together. He became my brother. I got him inside my pendant right here on my chest, and I got him tatted on my right hand. We was out of summer practice. He called me the day of during school to ask me can I come pick him up. I wasn't able to come pick him up, and then after practice, his dad called and told me that I got shot. I didn't believe it. It was like a whole brotherhood because everybody knew Josh. He was a big athlete down in Miami. So if you say Joshua Ingram, everybody will know. So it affected me. I'll say for like the first 2 weeks, all I could do was cry. But I just made him my motivation, my reason to keep going. That's why I'm here today, because I could have just gave it up. I dedicated my senior year to him. We went to state, and I'm blessed to be where I'm at now, playing for the USF Bulls. Just remember your why. He's my why, so every time I get up and don't feel like going, I look at my hand and I know what's my reason.
And Marsh to throw. Caught Weaver. He dives for the end zone. 16-yard pickup, and the Bulls will have a 1st and goal.
Great throw by Katravis Marsh.
A great delivery by Katravis Marsh on the outside.
Growing up Miami, seeing the stadium lights, it's like you want to be there, you know what I'm saying? One day you want to be under them lights. I went to a couple games. I love the atmosphere, and I told myself, hey, I want to be under the lights one day, and now I'm living a dream.
And here's Marsh to throw. Looking for Stanley. He's got it. And Stanley into the open field, and he's going to score. 73 yards. Touchdown, South Florida. And it's a big one.
This segment was brought to you by Yingling, America's oldest brewery.
Such a powerful story and just immense strength to continue fighting after his best friend's passing.
Absolutely. Extreme courage to never give up and to turn that experience into motivation. Well, we're switching gears and showing some love to special teams. USF Special Teams coordinator Daniel DePrado says special teams is about 1/5 of the plays. And Karen, that's a big part of the game.
It certainly is. The performance of these units has a direct impact on the outcome of a game. Football is all about seizing every opportunity, and DePrado holds his players to what USF preaches best is standard.
At the 10-yard line. His first opportunity, he bounces off a tackler, gets to the 35, cuts it back to the 40, into BYU territory. Horn in a foot race, and you know what that means. Touchdown, USF!
As I've evaluated, my first 2 years here, special teams really has been the most consistent of our three phases of offense, defense, and special teams.
Good snap, good hold, and it's all tied.
In your first year or two, normally special teams is that phase that struggles the most because they don't get the first pick of your most talented players. Usually the offense and defensive coaches get to keep them, but special teams has been really good, especially our return units. Last year we returned 3 kickoff returns for touchdowns. We made a lot of improvements in punt returns.
Way at the 4. Coming up the near hash mark, now takes it to the middle of the field. Boy, he's got a little bit of room too. Gets the edge, takes it all the way to the far side of the field.
Special teams is phenomenal. It's always talked about as a third of the game. We don't believe it's a third of the game. It's about a fifth of the plays. But the impact that one play in special teams can literally determine the outcome of the game. So it's every play. It's not the previous 6 kickoffs that we had. The next one's the most important one because it is the next one.
It's career high, 49. Got the distance, yes! Wow. A new career high for Spencer Schrader.
Wow. I can't say enough about Daniel DePrado, our special teams coordinator. He is passionate about it. He's really created a buy-in from the entire team where our guys want to be on special teams.
Everything in how we do it, if we're going to put time into it, it's worth our best time. And that standard is carried with you in everything that you do for all of our players, on the field, off the field, at a team activity, in the classroom, in the community, and they carry that with them, and we're starting to see that through all of our players all day, every day.
Just short of the goal line. Here come the goals. The 20 to 25. There's some running room to get things started, and what a way to do it against a 7-1 squad. Brian Battee from goal line to goal line. USF touchdown.
This segment was brought to you by Buhoff Law Group.
All right, pretty incredible. A new career high from kicker Spencer Schrader. Time to take a quick break, but when we return, we'll have highlights from yesterday's game. We'll be right back.
The South Florida Bulls have spent almost as much time on planes and buses as they have on the practice field, or so it seems. It's hard to figure whether they have more frequent flyer miles or injuries. This week's road trip had the Bulls in Houston, where the Cougars were holding homecoming. Part of a stretch where they play away from home 6 times out of 7 games. They have also lost 4 starters for the season, including quarterback Gary Bohannon, with countless others missing various game action. To their credit, they battled on, and they let it be known from the start they were there to play.
Houston winning the toss, and they have deferred, so USF will receive. First play for the Bulls is a good one. Xavier Weaver on the delivery from their new starting quarterback, Trey Marsh.
Everybody who's wearing a South Florida helmet, you got to contribute today. Defensively, offensively, special teams, all chips forward for the Bulls.
And no one contributed more early than running back Brian Battee.
Battee, big yardage, the cutback at the 35. Spiraling his way down inside the 20 and a big gainer for the Bulls.
Battee would put in a game's worth of numbers in the first quarter alone.
Score on the run from Brian Battee, 13 and a touchdown USF.
Battie would almost have his third 100-yard rushing game of the season before the first quarter was even over.
Battie gets the edge inside the 10 and a cutback, and Brian Battie has his second touchdown run of the quarter.
More important, all the Bulls were meshing in an impressive beginning. Houston battled back the tie, but Trey Marsh, in just his third collegiate start, was getting the aerial attack in gear.
3rd down and 5. Marsh will route wide open. Brian Battie. Battie has run for 90. He's caught 41 more.
Down 14 at the break, the Bulls burst out in the second half the way they started the game.
This is a big third down for USF. Halftime, you make some adjustments. Bob Shute, defensive coordinator, trying to create some havoc up front.
Dell is the motion man. They'll run it, and it's going to be short. Dwayne Boyles with the tackle.
Who else? As Boyles moved into the school's all-time top 10 tackle list.
Marsh stepping up. He'll run for it, takes a bump, stays on his feet. Into Houston territory, and a big gain for Trey Marsh, out of bounds at the 40.
Well, I said he had to make plays with his arm, but this isn't part of his game, but yet he found a way to do it with his legs.
Marsh would put together South Florida's most productive passing game of the season. And perhaps most significant, he didn't turn the ball over while completing 71% of his throws, getting Coach Jeff Scott's Bulls right back in the game.
Out of the backfield, Dukes. Shoestring catch, he got it for a first down. And it's 1st and goal, Bulls.
These two teams have a history of lighting up the scoreboard when they play, and this one was no exception.
Dukes up the middle, touchdown. Bulls able to cap off the drive. Michael Dukes from a yard out.
Despite his inexperience, Marsh showed terrific leadership and poise and kept the Bulls answering.
Deep downfield, and it's caught inside the 10 of Marion Dollison. Marsh, touchdown. Chris Carter.
Any team that loses its starting quarterback will feel some growing pains. But against Houston, Marsh and the Bulls showed those growing pains might not last long, providing optimism for fans of the green and gold as they look ahead to next week's game with Temple. This week's highlights brought to you by Wendy's.
Welcome back to Horns Up USF All Access. Assistant Equipment Manager Eric Wright says every game is almost like a road game for us. Plans for an on-campus stadium are in the works, but for now, USF holds their home football games at Raymond James Stadium. Equipment managers are crucial in the on-field success of a football program, so who better to hear from than USF equipment staff themselves?
The way I always look at it is every game's almost like a road game for us because we got to travel to Ray J.
Our week pretty much starts on Sunday. If it's an away game, the truck will come back sometimes Sunday morning, Sunday afternoon, depending on how far away it is. Unload all the players' bags, unload all the helmets, unload all the laundry. And basically it's the start of just getting ready to flip it and get ready for the next week.
We don't have practice on Monday. So Monday through Wednesday is really when we start loading everything up in the trunks, restocking all of our towels, all of our bands, all that type of stuff that the players like to use during the game. And then Tuesday and Wednesday, we will really start loading all those trunks up.
Sleeves, towels, gloves, undershirts, girdles, pads, whatever uniform combination we're wearing that week, we have to get the pants ready and accounted for. Everyone's jersey accounted for.
We also help our athletic training department load the truck up too.
Thursday's a big load the truck day.
And then on Thursday is really when we pack up all the players' gear.
Cleats, shoulder pads, knee pads, thigh pads, any knee braces they may need.
We also load up all the helmets too.
Depending on what helmet we're wearing that week, we got to make sure it's got the right decals. And then the truck will leave Friday morning.
Yeah, so we just got here at Ray J. It's Friday, around 9 o'clock. We'll set up their entire locker room with jerseys, helmets, shoulder pads. So when they get here, all they got to do is come in, drop their stuff off, and everything's right there for them. Usually the process on Friday takes about 2 to 3 hours. We try to get in and get out and make sure everybody's got everything they have.
We just make sure that we're real particular about making every locker look nice and neat. we want it to look good for the players when they get there on game day.
So tomorrow we'll get here about 5 hours out from kickoff, and we'll set up the field at that time. We'll push out all the field trunks onto the field and set those up along the sideline behind the bench, set up all the benches for the game, and then we'll also test our headset unit up top. I'll set that up in the press box today, and then for tomorrow we'll test it out on the field, making sure all the communication is working between the coaches. It's a lot of stuff to take on and off the truck. Usually with everybody helping out and everybody together, it's not too much work.
I used to play football here. I punted for USF from 2019 to 2021. I suffered an injury this past spring. I am now a graduate assistant for the USF equipment department. So yeah, I'm loving every second of it.
This segment was brought to you by MSC Cruises, a world of discovery.
I love that. They truly put in so much work, and it really does take a village to ensure success. All right, well, right after the break, Kaylee sits down for an exclusive interview with women's basketball coach Jose Fernandez. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to Horns Up USF All Access. I sat down with women's basketball head coach Jose Fernandez and some of the players for an inside look at their mindset going into the season.
Coach, the team has earned some pretty impressive preseason honors, including being picked first in the AAC preseason coaches poll. How does that set the tone for this season?
Well, like you said, they're preseason honors. Right now, it's great to have the attention and the recognition, but, you know, the only thing that matters is what happens at the end of the season. And we got a very talented group, and I tell, every team's made up differently. The individual honors are going to come, with the success of the team. So, great to be picked first. Have two guys is listed as one of the top 10 players in the conference. But again, it's not how you start, it's how you finish.
I have to start with the congratulations because you were named preseason first team all-conference. What leads to your success?
I think what leads to my success is not only hard work I'm putting in myself, but also the help and support from the coaches and the people around me.
What I have to do is just control every day what I can control and treat every day like it's a new day. I have to get 1% better the next day, and the next day after that I have to get it 1% more better. I think these are just predictions, and it's not true until it really happens.
Can you talk to me about the chemistry of this group?
I think we're pretty unique. We have 14 different personalities, and it's just really fun to get to know different players from different countries. We got so many people from different countries. I think it's been going really good so far.
I'm really excited. I feel like this year, adding to the fact that it's my last year, and with this team that I feel is really special, I am really excited to get out there and just have fun with them. It'd be really, really great.
Coach, what excites you the most about this group?
I think the different personalities, right? We're going to win. How much are we going to win? We'll see. There's a lot of factors that come into that. The locker room, how they all get along, how we stay healthy. But we have some unique personalities, and they're fun to coach. Offensively, we're very, very talented. I think right now we're still in a lot of the teaching phase to get where we want to get to before November 7th.
What are some expectations that have been set for the team this year?
Well, obviously all teams want to win here in the conference, but what we're supposed to do is just control what we can control every single day. All teams have expectations, but if you don't do what it takes today, you won't probably get wherever you want to get. Yeah.
The one thing we have been focusing really right now is taking one day at a time, one game at a time, giving everything we have, and just come out with whatever, come out of the game knowing that we put everything on the line.
I know expectations are high. What is it going to take to get back to conference championship?
Wow, Kaylee. Well, 9 years in this league. We've been in the final 6 times and 3 semifinals. So we expect to be there, but a lot of things between now and then, right? November and December, challenging non-conference schedule. We're gonna get everybody's best punch in January, February. I know I've said it all along, if we go ahead and take care of business every day, the end is gonna take care of itself. You know, we don't talk about the conference championship, the regular season championship, that doesn't come up.
We all can't wait to watch. Thanks for talking with me today, Coach.
You got it, Kaylee.
Elena Chineke said it best. Control what you can control every single day.
Absolutely. A great mentality going into the season, one day at a time. Women's basketball has their first game at the Yuengling Center right here in Tampa Bay on November 7th against Morehead State University, so look out for that. And that's all the time we have for this week's show. The Bulls are back from their bye week, and this Saturday they're invading Philly. You can watch the game this Saturday at 2 p.m. against Temple University.
And then, of course, join us Sunday night at 9 right here for more exclusive footage. Stay safe, have a happy Halloween. For Kaylee and myself, thank you so much for watching. Have a great night.